If you are enrolled in IGNOU MDVS and you are looking for the MDVP-117 project, there is one fact you need to hear before anything else. Because almost every page online gets it wrong. Here is the direct answer. MDVP-117 is the project workhorse of the IGNOU MDVS program, the Master of Arts in Development Studies, offered by the School of Extension and Development Studies. It sits in the second year, and on IGNOU's own published course structure, it is marked as an elective, not a compulsory course. You choose it in place of theory courses, and that one line changes how you plan your entire second year. In this guide, I will cover where the project sits, 5 traps that cost students a whole session, who can legally supervise you, how to choose an approvable topic, the synopsis and the exact address it travels to, the full report structure, submission, Viva, and an honest answer on whether you should choose this project at all. Let me put MADVS on the table first, because the project only makes sense inside the program. It is a 72-credit master's degree, minimum 24 months and maximum 48. Eligibility is graduation in any discipline. The medium is English, and the fee is 7,500 rupees per year, plus registration and development fees as applicable. Confirm the current fee in the common prospectus before you budget. Year 1 is fixed. 6 courses of 6 credits each, 36 credits in total. MDV-101. Introduction to Development and Development Theories. MDV-102. Dynamics of Development. MDV-103. Issues and Challenges of Development. MDV-004. Gender and Development. MDV-106, Research Methodology in Development Studies, and MDV-109, Development in India, an Overview. Remember MDV-106? We come back to it. Year 2 is where the choice appears. You earn another 36 credits, but you choose them from a basket. MDV-105, Development Planning and Management, MDV-108, Development Communication and Extension, MDV-110, Training and Development, MDV-111, Local Self-Governance and Development, MDV-115, Health and Development, MEDS-041 and MEDS-042 on Urban Development, MED-101 on Rural Development, and MDVP-117, Project Work. So this is where your project sits. Course code, MDVP-117. Title, Project Work. Year 2. School, SOEDS. Status, Elective. And do the arithmetic on effort. In the IGNOU system, 1 credit is roughly 30 hours of learner study time. Even at the lower credit figure, that is about 180 hours of work. Plan in months, not weekends. Section 1. The 5 traps that quietly cost students a whole session. Trap number 1 is the biggest. Most pages tell you that MDVP-117 is compulsory. On IGNOU's own MADVS course structure, it is listed as Project Work, Elective. In second year, you need 36 credits, and you pick them from a basket of theory courses and this one project. Nobody forces the project on you, and nobody stops you from taking it. What that choice means is simple. MDVP-117 replaces theory courses of the same credit weight. You trade term-end examination papers for one piece of original field research. Some students find that far easier, others find it much harder. Later, I will tell you which group you are probably in. Trap number 2 is the credit figure, and this one needs care. IGNOU's own MADVS program page currently shows MDVP-117 with 6 credits. Several widely circulated MADVS structures show 12 credits, described as equivalent to 2 courses. Both numbers are in circulation, and they cannot both be right for your batch. So settle it yourself in 3 minutes from a source that actually applies to you. 1. Open your own re-registration record on Samarth and see what credit MDVP-117 carries against your enrollment. 2. Check the MADVS program guide that came with your study material. 3. If they still disagree, email the MADVS program coordinator at SOEDS and keep the reply. Your own record beats any website, including this one. Trap number 3 is where students lose the most time. Your MDVP-117 proposal does not go to your regional center, and it does not go to the Student Evaluation Division. Those are the routes for management and computer programs. For MADVS, it travels to the school itself. The address is this: Project Coordinator, MADVS, School of Extension and Development Studies, Block 15F, IGNOU, Maidan, Garhi, New Delhi, 110068. And write Project Proposal, MDVP-117, in the top right corner of the envelope so it reaches the right desk. Trap number 4. Your research method is not a free choice. The official course description for MDVP-117 advises you to use the case study method or the survey method. That is narrower than most students realize, and a proposal that ignores it invites questions. And this is where MDV-106 returns. Research methodology in development studies is not just a paper you cleared in year 1. It covers development research, measurement and sampling, data collection and analysis. It is the training manual for this project. Students who reopen it before writing the synopsis write visibly stronger proposals. Trap number 5. Your supervisor's signature is not approval. The supervisor signs the pro forma. The school approves the project. Written communication of approval or rejection reaches you from the school, normally within about 4 weeks of them receiving it. Until that arrives, do not collect a single data point. One more distinction, because it confuses thousands of students. MRDP-001 is the Rural Development Dissertation of the MARD program, run by a different school, and it is compulsory. MDVP-117 is the Development Studies project of MADVS, run by SOEDS, and it is elective. Different code, different school, different route, different rules. Do not follow an MARD guide for this project. Section 2. Who can actually supervise your MDVP-117 project? IGNOU is specific about who may supervise an MADVS project, and the list has 3 categories. First, academic counselors of the MADVS program at study centers with appropriate experience. Second, teachers, researchers or development professionals in development studies or an allied field, which includes extension education, social work, economics, sociology, public administration, political science and rural development. A doctorate is preferred here, and a master's or MPhil with about 5 years of relevant experience is generally acceptable. Third, faculty at IGNOU headquarters in SOEDS. If your supervisor is an academic counselor, there is a declaration you must not skip. The biodata has to state clearly which courses they counsel, since when, and the name and code of the study center they are attached to. A biodata missing those 3 details is a common reason an otherwise good proposal comes back. Now what your supervisor is responsible for: narrowing a broad interest into a focused topic, pushing you to read books, journals and reports, and to talk to people in the field, telling you where the empirical data can realistically be found, pointing you to relevant literature, keeping you moving with periodic guidance, insisting that you work originally rather than copying, and issuing a letter of authorization so that you can collect data. That authorization letter matters more than students expect. If your study involves a Gram Panchayat office, a municipal ward office, an Anganwadi center, a school, or a voluntary organization, you will often be asked who you are and why you are asking questions. Your supervisor can issue that letter, and your study center or regional center can also provide it. Ask for it before you go to the field, not after you are turned away. On payment, let us be accurate. The university pays the project supervisor a nominal honorarium, historically 300 rupees, and may revise it from time to time. Your supervisor is not on a consultancy fee. Treat their time with respect and arrive at every meeting prepared. And here is a hard rule that saves whole sessions. If you change your supervisor for any reason, you do not simply update a name. You submit the project proposal again on a fresh proposal pro forma signed by the new supervisor, and it is treated as a new submission. The approval clock restarts. So choose carefully the first time. Practically, how do you find one? Start at your study center and ask which counselors handle MADVS courses. If that fails, approach a postgraduate department of sociology, economics, social work, or public administration nearby, or someone already working in the development sector with a master's and real field experience. Confirm eligibility against those 3 categories before you invest weeks in a topic. Section 3. Choosing an MADVS project topic that actually gets approved. The official guidance gives you a checklist for choosing a topic, and notice that it is a feasibility checklist, not a creativity checklist. Is the subject appropriate? Is it genuinely relevant to development studies? Do you have the time? Can the data be collected in that time? What are the difficulties and how will you handle them? What will collection cost? And do you have the communication facilities and the local language the field site demands? Now, the mistake almost everyone makes. Students bring a subject and call it a topic. Clean cooking fuel is a subject. Women's employment is a subject. Urban sanitation is a subject. A topic names the population, the place, the variable, and the relationship. Until your title does all 4, no supervisor can approve it and no examiner can evaluate it. Let me narrow one live example with you. Start with the subject, Clean Cooking Fuel Policy. Too wide. Narrow it to one scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Still wide. Narrow it to one question, do the households that received a connection actually keep using LPG as their main fuel? Narrow it to a place you can reach, 3 villages of Sagar district in Madhya Pradesh. Narrow it to a population you can list, women beneficiaries of the scheme in those villages. And you arrive at a title like this: A Study of Beneficiary Awareness and Continued Utilization of the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana in 3 selected villages of Sagar district, Madhya Pradesh. Notice what that title does. The population is countable, the place is fixed, the variable is measurable, and the whole thing is a survey you can finish. From that title, 4 objectives follow almost mechanically. 1. To study the socio-economic profile of the beneficiary households. 2. To assess beneficiary awareness of the scheme's provisions. 3. To examine the extent of continued LPG use and the factors behind refill decisions. 4. To suggest measures for improving sustained use. 2 rules on objectives. Keep them to 3 or 4, and start each one with a verb you can test, such as study, assess, examine, compare, or suggest. Avoid understand, explore, and analyze in depth, because nobody can tell when you have finished doing them. Vague objectives are the single most common reason a proposal comes back for revision. Here are 10 themes that sit inside development studies and inside a student's reach. A rural employment or housing scheme in one block. Beneficiary satisfaction with a public distribution or nutrition program. Functioning of a Gram Panchayat or Nagar Panchayat. The midday meal scheme in selected schools. A community needs assessment on one development issue. Migrant workers in one locality. User satisfaction with an urban service such as transport, water, or sanitation. Solid waste management in one municipality. Women in a skill or self-employment program. And an education mission in one district. Notice the pattern. Rural themes come from panchayats, blocks and villages. Urban themes come from wards, municipalities and city services. Both are equally acceptable in MADVS. Choose the one you can physically reach on a working day. The topics that get rejected are predictable. A national level study you cannot survey. A purely theoretical essay with no data. A topic belonging to management or pure economics rather than development. A repeat of a known study with nothing new. A title promising comparison across states you will never visit. A sensitive subject where you will not get permission. And a topic your supervisor has no expertise in. Section 4. The MADVS synopsis and the exact journey it takes. The MADVS synopsis is short. 4 to 5 typed pages. What matters is that every required element is present and stated clearly. Your title? An introduction giving the background. Your objectives? A clear statement of the problem. The research methodology, and here the school wants detail, the location, the sample, the data collection tools, and the statistical techniques you will use. Your limitations, if any. And your references. 3 documents travel together, and a proposal missing any one of them is not processed. 1. The project proposal pro forma, filled in and signed by both you and your supervisor. 2. 1 copy of the typed synopsis, 4 to 5 pages. 3. Your supervisor's bio data, about 2 pages with full contact details, email, mobile number, academic background, and work experience. Post that envelope to the project coordinator, MADVS, School of Extension and Development Studies, Block 15F, IGNOU, Maidan, Garhi, New Delhi, 110068, with project proposal, MDVP-117, written in the top right corner. Keep a photocopy of everything you send. On timing. Admitted in the January session, the recommended date to send your proposal is the 30th of April. Admitted in the July session, it is the 31st of October. Those dates exist so that approval, project work, submission, and evaluation fit inside your program cycle. Now, a nuance almost nobody states correctly. Those 2 dates are recommended, not absolute cutoffs. If you miss them, you may still send your proposal for approval at any time in the year. What you lose is not the project. What you lose is time, because your completion is pushed further out. Treat them as your own deadlines rather than the university's. After the school receives your proposal, you should get a formal communication about approval or rejection, normally within about 4 weeks, by email and by post. A project proposal number, the PP number, is assigned to you. Write it down. You will need it in every later communication. If the proposal is not approved, you are told what to fix, and resubmission has its own rule that students routinely get wrong. You must send the revised proposal on a revised proposal pro forma, together with a copy of the rejected proposal and the pro forma carrying the evaluator's remarks and the PP number. A revision sent as a fresh, standalone proposal simply restarts the queue. 1 decision remains. Survey or case study. Choose the survey method when you want a countable pattern across many respondents. For example, awareness across 200 households. Using a structured schedule and simple statistics such as percentages, averages, and cross-tabulations. Choose the case study method when you want depth on one unit, such as the waste management system of one municipality, using interviews, observation, and records. Both are acceptable. Mixing them badly is not. Section 5. The MDVP-117 Project Report, chapter by chapter. Your MDVP-117 report has a fixed front section and every item is checked. The title page must carry the course code MDVP-117, the project title, your name, your enrollment number, your address, the name of the school, and the year. The approved synopsis pro forma goes in as the second page. Then a certificate of authenticity signed by both you and your supervisor. Then acknowledgements, if any. Then the table of contents. The body then follows a fixed sequence. Introduction. Review of literature, methodology, result and discussion. Conclusion. Constraints and limitations. Suggestions for further work. And the bibliography. That sequence is your chapter plan. Do not invent your own. A word on the one students usually weaken. Your introduction must define the problem, tell the reader what the topic is, how it arose and why you took it up, and state your objectives and justification. Your review of literature is a reading of published books, journals, and articles that sharpens your research questions. It is not a list of summaries. Your methodology section carries the sample, the tools, and the statistical treatment. Sample size and composition depend on the topic you chose. Your tools must line up with your objectives, one by one. And the data those tools produce must be analyzed with techniques that suit the data. If an examiner cannot trace objective 3 to a tool and then to a table, you lose marks there. Result and discussion is where the marks concentrate. Present your findings in tables and figures after analysis, discuss them against the earlier studies you reviewed, and then draw out what your findings imply. A report that shows tables and never discusses them reads as data entry, not research. Then conclude, state your constraints and limitations honestly, and add suggestions for further work if your findings support them. Your bibliography must be in APA style, listed alphabetically. Get this right because it is the easiest place to lose easy marks. And for page setup, margins, binding, and the certificates in detail, watch our dedicated IGNOU project format guide. Linked below so that I do not repeat that lane here. For submission, follow the route printed in your own MADVS program guide and confirm it with your regional center before posting anything. For most IGNOU master's programs, the completed report goes to the Registrar, Student Evaluation Division, Block 12, IGNOU, Maidan, Garhi, New Delhi, 110068, and several programs now accept an online upload. Because routes are revised, confirm yours rather than trusting any website, including ours. Before you bind, run this check. The approved proposal pro forma is inside the report, not stapled on. The approved synopsis is inside. The supervisor's biodata is inside. The certificate of authenticity is signed by both of you. The title on the cover matches the approved title word for word. The course code MDVP-117 is on the title page. And you have kept one complete copy for yourself for the Viva. Section 6. The Viva, and whether you should choose this project at all. For the Viva, the preparation is narrower than students fear. Know your objectives by heart. Know exactly how you drew your sample and why. Be able to defend one finding with the table it came from. Note 2 or 3 studies from your literature review and how yours differs. Be honest about your limitations rather than hiding them, and be able to say in one sentence what your study means for the community you studied. Our IGNOU project, Viva Voce guide goes deeper on this. Now the honors verdict, because MDVP-117 is optional, and you deserve a straight answer. Choose the project if you already work in or near the development sector, so your field site is within reach. Choose it if you would rather do sustained work across months than sit 2 more term-end examinations. Choose it if you may study further because a completed empirical project is the strongest single item you can show. And be equally honest about when not to choose it. If you cannot realistically reach a field site, if you have no access to a qualified supervisor, or if you are already close to the end of your maximum duration, then 2 theory papers are the safer route. There is no shame in that choice, and the degree is the same degree. On career and scope, speaking qualitatively rather than promising anything. MADVS graduates work with government development departments and district agencies, with panchayats and municipalities, with voluntary organizations and corporate social responsibility teams, and as program officers, project officers, and research assistants. Some go on to doctoral research or set up their own voluntary organization. Is the degree valid for jobs? Yes. IGNOU is a central university, and its open and distance learning degrees are treated on par with conventional degrees for employment and further study. What separates 2 MADVS graduates in an interview is rarely the mark sheet. It is whether one of them can describe a study they actually ran. Let me answer the question students ask us most. Is MDVP-117 compulsory? On the official MADVS course structure, it is listed as an elective in Year 2, so confirm against your own re-registration record. How many credits is it? The official program page shows 6, while widely circulated structures show 12 as equivalent to 2 courses. So verify yours on Samarth and in your program guide. Where does the proposal go? To the project coordinator, MADVS, at SOEDS, Block 15F, Maidan, Garhi, not to your regional center. How long should the synopsis be? 4 to 5 typed pages. How long does approval take? Normally about 4 weeks from receipt. Can I change my topic or my supervisor later? Yes, but it counts as a new proposal on a new proforma, and the approval process restarts. Does IGNOU give a ready-made MDVP-117 project? No. It gives guidelines and a proforma. The research must be yours, and a copied report invites rejection. Which method should I use? Case study or survey, as the official course description advises. 7 things to carry away. 1. MDVP-117 is an elective project in Year 2. 2. Verify your credit figure on Samarth, not on a website. 3. The proposal goes to SOEDS Block 15F, not a regional center. 4. No data collection before written approval. 5. Use the case study or survey method and reopen MDV-106. 6. Changing supervisor means a brand new proposal. 7. The approved proposal, synopsis and biodata must be bound inside your report. If this made MDVP-117 clearer, subscribe to Shri Chakradhar Education and visit ignouproject.com for the full written MADVS project guide. For personal help with your synopsis or report, the WhatsApp number is in the description. Always confirm current rules on ignou.ac.in and with your regional center before you submit. All the best with your MADVS project.